my channel. I am Shraddha Singh and today we are here to discuss about nature and purpose of business. In this session we will learn about human activities, their types, businesses, its causes and types and role of profit in business. So let's continue. Concept of human activities in business studies. The activities which are done by human beings for the satisfaction of their needs are called human activities. Human activities are divided into two parts. The first one is economic activities and the second one is non-economic activities. Let's know what is economic activity. Economic activities are those activities which are performed by human beings for earning their livelihood or money. These activities are concerned with production, exchange and distribution of goods and services. Some example of economic activities are production of goods in a factory, practicing as a doctor, lawyer, working as a teacher in a school, etc. Economic activities are divided into three parts. The first one is business, then employment, and then profession. Let's discuss economic activities one by one. The first one is business. Business refers to those economic activities which are connected with the production, purchase, sale, and distribution of goods or services with the main objective of earning profit. In business, the level of risk is high. Some examples of business are fishing, mining, farming, manufacturing, wholesale, etc. Now the second one is employment. In this, individual works regularly for the another person and get remunerated in return. Here are some examples of employment. Working in office, banks, insurance companies, shops as a manager, clerk, peon, salesman, etc. The next one is profession. The activities which require special knowledge and skill to be applied by an individual in his works to earn a living. These activities are subject to guidelines or codes of conduct laid down by the professional bodies. Some examples are lawyers are professions engaged in legal professional governed by the Bar Council of India. Doctors are professionals who are in the medical profession and are governed by the Medical Council of India. Let's understand what is non-economic activities. The activities which are undertaken by an individual with the motive of getting psychological satisfaction are known as non-economic activities. For example, going to temple, social services, charity, production for self-consumption, etc. Let's know what is different between economic and non-economic activity. The first one is on the basis of motive. The main motive of economic activity is to earn money. The main motive of non-economic activity is to getting psychological satisfaction. The second one is on the basis of purpose. The purpose of economic activities is creation of wealth and the purpose of non-economic activities is psychological satisfaction. Economic activities consist of business, profession, employment, while non-economic activities are concerned with religious, social services, family-oriented activities, and patriotic activities. Next topic is classification on the basis of function. The first one is industry and the second one is commerce. Let's know what is industry. Industry refers to an activity which converts raw materials into useful products. Industry is divided into three parts. The first one is primary industry, second one is secondary industry, and the third one is tertiary industry. Primary industry includes all those activities which are concerned with extraction of natural resources and responding of living species. These industries can further be classified into two categories. The first one is extractive industry and the second one is genetic industry. Extractive industries are those which involve extraction of something from natural resources, such as minerals from earth, fish from rivers and seas, timber from forests, etc. The products of extractive industries can directly used or become the raw material for the other industries. The second, genetic industry, the industry involved in the activities of rearing and breeding of living organisms like birds, plants, and animals, etc., are known as genetic industry. For example, rearing of cattle for milk, dairy farms, poultry farms, rearing of plants in nursery, growing fish in ponds, etc., are included in genetic industry. The second part of industry is secondary industry. It makes use of products which are extracted and produced by primary industry as their raw material and produce finished goods. For example, mining of iron ore is done in primary industry, but steel manufacturing is done in secondary industry. There are two kinds of secondary industry. The first one is manufacturing industry and the second one is construction industry. Manufacturing industries are engaged in the process of conversion of raw material or semi-finished goods into finished goods. These industries create firm utility by changing the form of raw materials into finished products. For example, tinder is converted into furniture, iron into steel, sugarcane into sugar, cotton into clothes, etc. And the second, construction industries are concerned with construction of building, dams, roads, etc. These industries use the products of manufacturing industries such as cement, iron, steel, lime, etc. The unique feature of these industries is that their product can't be transferred or shifted to market. They are constructed and remain at the fixed site only. The third part of industry is tertiary industry. It is also known as service industry. Tertiary industry is concerned with providing services which facilitate a smooth flow of goods and services. This industry helps in the activities of the primary and secondary industry. In other words, this industry provides services which support the activities of primary and secondary market. This is why it is also known as service industry. The various types of services produced by tertiary industries are transport, banking, insurance, warehousing, etc. The second part is commerce. Commerce refers to all those activities which helps directly or indirectly in the distribution of goods to the ultimate customers. Commerce is divided into two parts. The first one is trade and the second is aids to trade. It is also known as auxiliaries to trade. Trade is an integral part of commerce. It refers to buying and selling of goods and services. Trade is classified into two parts. The first is internal trade and the second one is external trade. Internal trade refers to buying and selling of goods or services within the geographical boundaries of a country. It is also known as home trade. Internal trade is divided into two parts. The first is wholesale and the second is retail. Wholesale trade, it refers to buying and selling of goods and services in large quantity. The wholesalers buy goods directly from the manufacturer and sell these goods to the retailers. The second one is retail trade. It refers to buying and selling of goods and services in a small quantity. The retailer buys goods from the wholesaler and sells these goods to the ultimate customers. The second part of trade is external trade. External trade refers to buying and selling of goods and services beyond the geographical limit of the country. It is also known as trade between goods or between two or more countries. In external trade, the market is very wide. External trade is of following types. The first is export, second is import, and the third is intraport. Export refers to sale of goods to a foreign country. Import refers to buying of goods from a foreign country. And intraport refers to import of goods for the purpose of export. The second part of commerce is aids to trade, also known as auxiliaries to trade. The activities which help in a smooth flow of trade are known as aids to trade. These activities make buying and selling of goods more easy. The common auxiliaries or aids to trade are: the first one is transport and communication. Transport refers to movement of goods from one place to another. The production of goods takes place at one place, whereas these are demanded in different parts of the country. The obstacle of place is removed by the transport. For example, tea is produced in Assam and Darjeeling but is consumed in all parts of the country. This is made possible only because of transport. The second one is banking and financing. Banks and financial institutions provide credit facilities, loans, etc. to provide finance for smooth flow of business activities. The third one is insurance. Businessmen have to bear various types of risk. Insurance provides protection from some kinds of risks such as risk of loss due to fire, accident, thief, etc. Fourth one is warehousing. Usually there is a time gap between the production and consumption of goods. Goods are not consumed immediately when these are produced. For example, wheat, rice, etc. are produced in a particular season only, but these are consumed throughout the year, so these are to be stored. The last one is advertising. Practically, it is impossible for a customer To reach practically, it is impossible for a manufacturer and trader to contact each and every customer. Advertisement has to overcome this problem. Goods are advertised to inform the customers about their uses, quality, and prices. Advertisement spreads awareness among the customers regarding new goods and their uses. Next point is business risk. It refers to making inadequate profit due to uncertainty. For example, changes in taste, changing preference of customers, strikes, increases in competition, changes in government policies, obstacles, etc. Causes of business risk. The common causes of business risk are natural causes, human causes, economic causes, and physical causes. Let's understand this in detail. Natural causes. Nature is an independent phenomena and human beings have no control over it. Natural calamities like earthquake, flood, drought, etc. affect a business a lot and can result in heavy losses. The second one is human causes. Human causes are related to a chance of loss due to human being or employees of the organization. The dishonesty of employees can bring heavy losses for business. For example, the employees may leak a business secret to a competitor and may commit fraud also. The employees may be careless and may mishandle the machinery and resources, which can also bring heavy loss by wastage of resources. The third one is economic causes. Economic causes are related to a chance of loss due to change in market condition. There can be price fluctuation in the market. There can be change in fashion, taste, preferences and demand of customers. There can be change in degree of competition. All these have a direct impact on the earning of the business. Even change in government policies affect our business a lot. Next point is physical causes. All the causes which result in damage of assets are considered as physical causes. For example, change in technology may result in machinery being outdated, use of old technology, etc. Types of businesses. There are two types of businesses. The first one is insurable and the second is non-insurable risk. Insurable risks are risks that insurance companies can cover. Non-insurable risks are those risks which insurance companies cannot insure because the potential losses or claims can't be calculated. Role of profit in the business. A businessman earns profit for various reasons. Their reasons are survival. A business and businessman cannot survive for a long time without earning profit. Profit is needed to satisfy the needs of a businessman and his family members. The second is expansion and growth. The business is expanded only when it is earning sufficient amount of profit. The third one is symbols of efficiency or an index of performance. Profit indicates whether a business is being managed efficiently or not. The success of a business can be judged by its ability to earn profit. The fourth one is reward for bearing risk. Profit is considered as a price or reward paid to a businessman for bearing the risk. Businessmen invest money in the business only with the hope of earning profit. The desire to earn profit motivates the businessman to bear the uncertainties and unexpected risk. Profit and risk are directly related to each other. The higher the risk, the more the profit. The lower the risk, the less the profit. The last point is has to gain reputation or goodwill. A profit earning company always have a great and better reputation in market as compared to companies which are running in loss. The rate of earning profit helps in creation helps in creating a goodwill of the company in the market. The market price of shares increase with the increase in the profit. The companies with high rate of profit are able to raise loans and obtain credit more easily. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Keep loving, keep supporting.